following is available in high definition.
It's that time. Gateway International Raceway. The crowd on their feet, the applause, the standing ovation, because the engines are ready to jump into life. And Top Fuel dragsters are on the line. Brandon Bernstein fires that engine. There's Brandon, and Clay Millican is on the other side. Rob Flynn, the chief for Brandon, who won a year ago with Hot Rod Fuller. Well, Clay gets it all over the place. The crowd loves it. And you know what? Not just these guys, but the new kids are on the charge. The NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Rookie Class of 2009. Sean Langdon, Spencer Massey, Matt Hagan, and Doug Horn. They're averaging 6th in the Full Throttle point standings. The season is young, but already between them they have 2 #1 qualifying spots. 4 appearances in final rounds. Can one of these men equal Gary Scelzi's performance in '97 and bring home a title in their rookie season? Well, question's going to be answered. We look at the Lucas Oil Top Fuel ladder. And take a look down there at the bottom. Larry Dixon and Joe Hartley. Larry looking for 500 or more round wins this weekend. He's never lost to Hartley.
Then Corey McClenathan and Chris, the Golden Greek Camerasinis. He's been racing since the 50s, but he hasn't gotten a round win since 1990.
The fact that he's here is so cool. Clay Millican. He only won 1 round of racing this season. That was at Houston over Troy Buff, but he's raced in 96 events. Well, that tells us what the track is like, and it tells Brandon Bernstein he's going to 2nd round.
Good track race right off the bat. I'll tell you, Kenny's liking what he sees. This is his final race here with Budweiser colors. They would like nothing better to come away with the win. His driver, Brandon Bernstein, his son, was dead on the reaction time, 0:35. Clay Millican was right there with an 0:48 elapsed time. A 3:90 beats a 3:91 elapsed time. Take another look at it. Brandon was running 275 miles per hour at the 8th mile. Always a good indication that there's a lot of racetrack out there. He had some cylinders go out before the finish, but because of that 8th mile speed, it had enough momentum to get him into the 2nd round.
Well, we mentioned Larry Dixon. He's coming up shortly, Dave Reef.
That's right, and with 499 round wins, he stands 1 away from the magical 500. It's a situation that he's downplayed a lot, even having some fun with Gary Gerald yesterday, but certainly a man who knows this sport this well knows the significance. If he's able to do it today, he will become the 7th different driver, joining John Force, Warren Johnson, Kenny Bernstein, Bob Glidden, Joe Amato, and Kurt Johnson as the only guys to do that. And if it is going to happen here today in St. Louis, it's going to happen in Top Fuel round 1, pair number 8. Don't leave. Gary Gerald?
Well, Morgan Lucas has exactly 410 fewer round wins in his career than Larry Dixon, but nonetheless, Morgan is basking in the glow of his success, a breakthrough first career event win 2 weeks ago in Atlanta. Morgan says a huge load has been lifted from his shoulders. He's been totally revitalized. His confidence is soaring, and oh, by the way, he's backed it up impressively. He's the #1 Top Fuel qualifier here in St. Louis this weekend.
Definitely the man to watch, and if you didn't see it yesterday in our qualifying show when Gary tried to mention Larry Dixon's possible 500th, Larry put his hand over Gary's mouth. There's Doug Coletta. Lost 1st round, Atlanta, to Sean Langdon. He will face Antron Brown, who has been very good on race day. No 1st round losses.
Yeah, that's a testament to his team. Brian Karate, Mark Oswald, his crew chiefs, doing a tremendous job since switching over from Funny Car last year, giving him a consistent race car. Doug Klett, on the other hand, since winning and beating Antron at the finals at the Winter Nationals, really has struggled. They really need to turn this thing around. Tell you what, the track conditions look very good based on that first pair of cars we've seen.
Oh, Doug Coletta hazes the tires on the right. Brown a little further down. Brown takes the win. He runs a 389, 311, and that 311 is the top speed of the event.
I tell you, that 311, that's a big indication because a lot of the teams were spinning the tires down track. To run 311 miles per hour, the car has to be pretty well hooked up. And I tell you what, that 388 low elapsed time run by Morgan Lucas should get beat in this first round based on the conditions.
And we welcome you to St. Louis. I'm Paul Page with Mike Dunn, and we're starting the second quarter of this full-throttle drag racing season. Now, this seems to be the year of the new kids and the first-timers. We've had Bob Tasca score his first win, and then 2 weeks ago at Atlanta, we had two first-timers, Eddie Krawiec and finally Morgan Lucas. So, Mike, what's it like for those guys? First big win.
Well, Paul, you know, you never forget your first time, and that was back in 1981 at the Golden Gate Nationals in Fremont, California. The event wasn't even televised. That's why all we have is this still picture here of me driving Roll Leong's King's Hawaiian bred Dodge. But I can tell you one thing, being in the winner's circle with Wally Parks holding the Wally, very special moment, one that I will never forget.
And it had to be extra special for Morgan with a 5-year wait.
Oh, yeah, and hopefully he doesn't have to wait 5 years for a second one like I did. I won it my first year and then went 5 years. And the add insult to injury, after that win in Fremont 2 weeks later, I went to the World Finals thinking I was, you know, a little cocky. Not thinking, I was a little cocky. And then I go out there in D&Q and got bumped out of the top 10.
You cocky, hard to believe. Stat guy.
You know what I love about that race, Mike? Dunn won back in 1981. Think of the notables who failed to qualify in funny car. Don Perdome, Kenny Bernstein, and John Force. You did beat the very tough Gary Bergen in the final.
Well, let's take you to the starting line again. As Morgan Lucas locks in, here is his teammate, Shawn Langdon. Very promising guy as well. #1 qualifier at Vegas. He goes up against the guy from Lincolnshire, Illinois, in his first race of the season, TJ Zizzo. There's Zizzo.
I'll tell you this, you know, TJ Zizzo doesn't run the entire circuit, but when he shows up, you can't ever count him out. He can get that thing down the racetrack and lay down a pretty good number. Shawn Langdon, talk about his rookie season. He has been stellar on the reaction times. He's going to try to get that advantage right here.
Red light, though. And that just hands it right over to Langdon, who comes off ahead of the light as well. In doing so, though, runs 3:14. That's top speed of the event and a career best ever speed. Well, when we come back, we're going to have a chance to talk with Antron Brown, who has already got his first round in. He loves that blower on the top of that Top Fuel dragster. Plus, Morgan Lucas. Mo Luke, some people call him, as he tries to get win #2. And then Larry Dixon. Is it going to be round win number 500? Yeah, there he is, keeping Gary Gerald shut down. All of that when we come back. And one of the young phenoms that we're seeing come into the Full Throttle Drag Racing Series, Spencer Massey, is on the line alongside of John Smith. But we send you to Gary Gerald.
And a brand new look this weekend. Check out this driver's suit for Antron Brown, looking really spiffy here with the DirecTV and the Matco colors and Lend America and all that good stuff. Conditions seem to be really good. We saw you run 311 miles per hour. Langdon just runs 314. We're going to see more than that maybe today?
I think you will now, Gary. I mean, right now, we were testing the waters. We were second pair. Brandon won a 90, so you don't know what to do. You just want to go down there nice, straight, and smooth today's race day. Every win means a lot to all these people that represent us. And, I mean, we threw it out there, but it's more out there, so I can't wait for this next round to get this DirecTV Matco Tools car, Lend America car back out there on the racetrack, because I'm sure Brian Karate and Mark Oswald's got something in store. So I'm excited to be out here in St. Louis. This is a great day.
Talking about round wins, guys, 270 now in his pocket, and if he wins the next round, it'll be his 50th in Top Fuel.
Spencer Massey, John Smith on the line, and we are going to see a lot better speeds today. 79 degrees, the track is ripe at the starting line, and some of that rubber, Mike Dunn, has filled in down track past the half track where the asphalt fits in. Couple that with the best weather conditions, yeah, this is going to be a flying round.
Yeah, and that key is that rubber on the top end. We're going to see some good ETs once they start getting after it.
One of the other new challengers this year is Spencer Massey, and right there is why. Runs a 390, 305 miles an hour, and takes down John Smith. For Massey, it's his first race here at St. Louis, and after having only one round win in the first 5 races of the season, he was runner-up at Atlanta to Morgan Lucas.
Well, if we take another look at it, I'm surprised we haven't seen that low elapsed time by Morgan Lucas taken out already. The track is very good based on what we're seeing on the top end. So a couple of the drivers actually, you know, in eliminations, they stage a little bit deeper to get a better reaction time. It hurts the elapsed time. I think we could have seen maybe a couple drivers actually, you know, run better. Brandon was in a little bit deep and still made a nice run to be one. But look at Spencer Massey. Had a nice run going, and the thing just looked like it quit just before the finish line, but he still gets the win.
Let's go to Gary Gerald. He has Langdon.
Sean, when you're a rookie and you're still, well, this is your, what, 7th event thus far in this rookie season, how much do the nerves settle down when you get the first round win?
Well, you know, I don't know about the nerves. I mean, it's out here such tough competition that you're always nervous. You're always trying to do your best, and you're always, you know, trying to push yourself to the max, and that's what this racing's all about. So, you know, I feel a little bit more comfortable in the car, you know, now that we've got a couple races in, but, you know, you still got to get jacked up for all these guys, and I mean, they're all tough competitors.
314 miles an hour. Pretty good stuff there, bud.
Thank you very much.
Now take a look at that car right there. Chris Karamazini's the Golden Greek. Now, we don't know how old he really is. 79-80 is the best guess. We do know this. His first major win was the World Series of Drag Racing up at Cordova in northern Illinois on the border. And, Mike, that was 1959.
Jeez, that was only, what, 3 or 4 years old? That's pretty amazing. I mean, the Greek, he is a legend in drag racing if you've been around since the beginning. And I can remember him as a kid reading about him in the drag news and National Dragsters and how good he was, especially back on the match race circuit. I mean, this guy is basically a legend from back then. Now, obviously, he's just racing on a limited schedule. He's still, as old as he is, I mean, he is so young at heart. He loves what he does, and I'm convinced that driving that top fuel dragster keeps him young.
In the day, he had a gold-plated car.
Yeah, and it was, and not only did it look good, I mean, it was fast. I mean, a lot of teams feared racing him. He was one of the best racers out of the Midwest back in the 50s and 60s.
Now, despite that history, this is the first time that he will face Corey Mack. Corey Mack had the top speed for the first time in 2009 at Atlanta. He ran a 3:17.12, his career best.
Corey understands the history of the sport, and he respects Chris Karamazini, but I can guarantee you right now, he is just focused on doing his job because he knows he has a very good race car, and he has a car that has a chance at getting a full throttle championship by the end of the year.
Left just a little early. Just a little early. Get that one over to Corey Mack. He runs the 389 with a 9, 311 miles an hour. Well, there is Morgan Lucas. They've ruled him out from under the tower, and when we come back, we'll see if the #1 qualifier, Morgan Lucas, facing Kevin Jones, can find his way into the winner's circle again.
Same old situation. I've been knocked down, I've paid my dues. Well, this time will be different. I'm gonna win, 'cause this girl don't like to lose. I'm gonna grab the wind and fly, drive it like a stallion.
Krista Marie, and she's here this weekend. You didn't come by and visit us, though, did you?
I haven't seen her. I thought she came by and said hi to you.
The O'Reilly Midwest Nationals, part of the NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series, and Morgan Lucas is on the line, hot after that first win. 5-year wait for that win, and he faces a really nice guy. In fact, they call him the barber of top fuel, Kevin Jones. His first ever race day start, his first ever race.
Going against the #1 qualifier. I tell you, I'm surprised we haven't seen some better ETs because we're already 7 mile an hour faster in speed. 307 was the fastest in qualifying. We run 314, so that tells me the track's there. I think everybody's just being a little bit cautious.
Well, for Jones, It's back to cutting some hair from Morgan Lucas. He's still looking so good. 386, 305 miles an hour. The 386 is the low ET of the race.
That was a nice pass, and I'll tell you, Jimmy Walsh has got some confidence. But, I mean, the racetrack is there. Morgan Lucas, 278 miles per hour at the 8th mile. He was only going 306 at the finish. Let's see if we can figure out why. Might have put a cylinder up before the finish line. But early in the run, this run was pretty much perfect. Didn't hardly rattle the tires in the shake zone. 278 miles per hour at the 8th. Gets down the finish right there. You see the cylinder go out, slowed him down just a little bit on the top end, but still a very good run.
You may own the team, but you still got to push the car off yourself. Morgan Lucas, he wins in first round. A reminder, we head off 2 weeks. Thunder Valley. Love going to this track. The 9th annual Thunder Valley Nationals. We'll have qualifying on May 16th, and then our usual lineup of programming on Sunday, the 17th. And here comes Tony Schumacher and Todd Simpson. For Schumacher, we've got pretty interesting stats here for you. Tony, in the 1,000-foot area, he doubled everybody.
Well, that's because he went 7 straight wins when we went to 1,000-foot racing. Didn't get beat till we got to Dallas at the end of the season by J.R. Todd in the final on a hole shot. Tony Schumacher's been pretty much unbelievable since we've gone to 1,000-foot.
Hasn't lost first round in 32 races. And yeah, we're still at 1,000 feet, and it is still considered interim. No records here. They're still making their decisions on what they're going to do in the future. Whoa, big fire for Tony Schumacher. He takes the win, but he's got a fire going back there. Grab the hamburgers and hot dogs.
That was a big boomer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tell you,
see that very much.
Yeah, I mean, that car's pretty usually pretty efficient, but hey, it happens everybody once in a while. But it probably was a mechanical problem. Might have dropped the valve or something. We don't know. Taking a look left side of your screen. He had a nice run, but he was only going 269 miles per hour at the 8th mile, almost 10 mile an hour slower than Morgan Lucas. That tends to make me think that whatever happened early in the run, probably right about this area. Whatever was going wrong, whether it was burning a piston, burning a valve, or burning the cylinder head, something was happening where the engine was probably just a little bit too lean, and then by the time it gets to about 800 feet, that's when all the damage comes in. Probably kicked out some connecting rods, big fire, head gaskets out, the whole bit. But hey, doesn't matter. Schumacher's got plenty of parts. They'll be back next round.
At the far end, Gary Gerald has Morgan Lucas.
Of course, there's been a lot of talk about Morgan and the breakthrough victory in Atlanta, and everybody was joking about the great party and the celebration. Was it as good as advertised?
From what I remember. No, it was a lot of fun, and the guys had a blast. I mean, the next day, nobody cared if they're hungover or not. And I don't know, I should probably not talk about that, having a great insurance company like Geico as a sponsor. You know, we don't condone that when you drive, okay? But we have a lot of fun, and that's what we do. We always have fun, win or lose or anything else, and that's what makes us such a great team.
Well, we talk about the soaring confidence of this team. It oozes out of them. You feel it when you walk up and talk to these guys.
Well, there's Larry Dixon looking for his 500th round of racing. He goes up against Joe Hartley. He's never lost to Hartley. Let's take a look at a timeline.
Well, his rookie season 1995, he won his first career race in just a second start at Phoenix.
And then 1995 wins his first of three career U.S. Nationals titles.
He had a great rookie season. In 1999, he became the first driver to break the 4.5-second barrier when he ran a 4:48 in Houston.
2002, it was the first of 2 straight Top Fuel titles.
And now in 2009, he wins in Gainesville in just his 3rd race with Alan Johnson and Alan Abbey Racing.
So it's time that he is on the way to another landmark, but he's been pretty superstitious about this.
Well, and he's also said that he doesn't consider it a big deal. I mean, he considers the trophies. You know, it's races won and championships won, and I agree with him somewhat, but still 500 round wins, that is a lot of rounds.
Not going to do it for the first time in matchups against Hartley. Hartley is the winner. 395, 295 miles an hour. Larry Dixon has to wait until at least Bristol.
He's going to be hating us for keep bringing that thing up. He is probably a little superstitious, but Larry did the job off the starting line, had the advantage, but then the car started to drift out of the groove a little bit and started to wash out. Let's take another look and see if we can tell what happened. Now, Alan Johnson likes to be very aggressive early in the run, and the car gets basically got that left tire just a little bit out of the groove. I don't know, it didn't help the fact on the run that it, spun the tires. You got to go back and look at it. May have spun the tires no matter what happened because they were just maybe that aggressive. But the end result is Joe Hartley finally got his first win in 5 tries against Larry Dixon.
Well, here is the Lucas Oil Top Fuel ladder looking to second round. That matchup between Lucas and Brandon will be a repeat of the 2005 final here, of course, won by Brandon. And Spencer Massey now gets to face Joe Hartley.
The other side of the ladder, that Corey McClellan and Antron Brown, that's a rematch from Houston where Antron lost to Corey on a hole shot, the only time that's ever happened in his Top Fuel career.
Well, there is plenty of funny car coming up, and we also are celebrating the 60th birthday this weekend.
I used to drive around dreaming about crashing because I can't win a race, but if I crashed or had a big fire, then you don't pray for that to happen. But when it does, the photographer will tell you, they joked once that I jumped back on top of my car when it was burning because the guy missed the shot. The fact is, I really did jump back on top of the car because I don't want to miss that shot. Me standing out here won't get a picture. Me sitting on a fire will.
Well, the funny cars are fired up, and we're ready for the first round funny car from the O'Reilly Midwest Nationals. There's Bob Tasca and Robert Height, and Gary Gerald has a very disappointed Larry Dixon.
Disappointment, obviously, for Larry Dixon and the Al-Anabi team. What happened? Did it just blow the tires off?
Yeah, it did. It just went out maybe 300 feet pretty early, even before we got off the concrete, and it pulled the tire off really hard. I mean, it just almost caught me by surprise, and you get out of the throttle and you roll back in, and it still had the tire loose, and I see Joe go by, and that's all she wrote. Try again next week.
Never easy to accept, I'm sure.
Well, let's show you the funny car ladder as we get ready to go with our first pair in funny car. The Lucas Oil ladder looks this way. With special attention to John Force and Jack Beckman, the win at Atlanta. Beckman beat 3 Team Force cars, including John, who he beat in round 2. He's facing him shortly.
Other side of the ladder, I want to focus on that Ashley Force Hood and Tony Petragon matchup. Tony has 6-3 record over Ashley, and 4 of those 6 wins been on a hole shot.
But we've been talking about first-time winners. One of them is on the line, and an old pro, Robert Height. Jimmy Prock looks over, says he's ready to go, but Robert's had 3 first-round losses this season in 6 races, his slowest start of the season. And we all know Bob Tasca got his first win this year. And Robert loses first round again. Tasca 415, 298. He's the winner.
Boy, Robert Height and Jimmy Prock just continue to have problems just trying to get that car hooked up in the middle of the racetrack. That has been their problem. And you look about 200, 300 feet out. He's in the middle of the ground. No, it drifts out a little bit there, but it was already kind of probably in trouble. But I tell you, Bob Tasca's made 3 nice runs up to this point. Take another look at Robert. Car's stuck right down the middle of the groove, then just starts to drift over towards the wall a little bit, goes up into tire smoke. Robert tries to pedal it one time and then realizes, hey, my competition's over in the other lane hauling the mail. I might as well just lift off the throttle.
And so there's our first little surprise of the day. Friday night, NASCAR Nationwide Series is at Darlington. You see them in Richmond. Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, and battled down to the last lap. That was a good fight. Coverage begins with NASCAR Countdown at 7 o'clock on ESPN2. And the track right across the way, part of this multi-purpose facility. The Nationwide Series will be racing there on July 18th. But right now, it's the straight line guys we're talking about, and it will be Del Worsham and that guy right there, Jerry Tolliver. Tolliver lost first round to John Force in Atlanta. Only 2 round wins this season for Tolliver. And Del Worsham, runner-up in the Funny Car Championship. Still looking, Mike, to put Al-Anabi in the winner's circle in Funny Car.
Ruchi Baron Brooks, they make a lot of horsepower over there. Just trying to control it and getting that thing hooked up has been the key for that team.
And Tolliver in trouble just right off the line, so the win will go to Del Worsham. It's a nice run, though, exactly. A 4.11, 295 miles an hour. Alanabi Racing at least moves on in funny car to the next round.
That's what the team was looking for. Take a look at it. Right side of your screen, Jerry Tolliver's going to spin the tires early in the run, get her sideways. Del, though, that thing was stuck right down the middle, just kind of bobbled a little bit just before the finish, but that's pretty much a perfect run in a fuel funny car.
And so now Alanabi, with Larry Dixon gone, can think ahead for their funny car. Coming up, it'll be Ashley Force as she faces Tony Pedregon. And then a little bit later, John Force on the line against Jack Beckman. And we've got some special stuff with Force as well.
It is the Full Throttle Drag Racing Series, the O'Reilly Midwest Nationals, and we're working funny car with the #1 qualifier, Ron Capps, Terry Haddock in just a moment. But right now I'm standing by with a man who today 59, tomorrow 60. John, how old do you feel?
Going on 100. I feel great. Stayed in the gym, got my mind and my body right, and I got contracts with Ford and Castle and Mac Tool and Auto Club and everybody for the next 5 years. So, hey, life's good. I just need some round wins, and I'm going after Beckman.
Only two people have won a national event past 60, Warren Johnson and Eddie Hill in Top Fuel.
John can be the first in funny car. How about this guy, Ron Capps? He is leading the points, led them all season. Is this going to be his year for a championship? He's a little tired of being the bridesmaid.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've never seen him or this team look better. This car has just been awesome up to this point. Obviously, it's a long season. That man right there, Eddie Ace McCullough, knows that it's a long season. He can't take anything for granted, but he has gotten more aggressive with the tune-up. He felt that's where they were lacking, and I'll tell you, it's been paying dividends. This car has looked great every race except for one this season, and I'll tell you, those 4.11s yesterday were very impressive.
Yeah, Ed last year didn't really like the 1,000 feet, but over the winter he thought it out, figured it out, and now he's ready to put Capps up alongside of Terry Haddock. Haddock in trouble early. Left lane has been an issue. Capps 4.16. Not the 4.11s that we saw, but a 4.16, 297 miles an hour. We've got the radio on.
Yeah, more rattle early, Ace, for some reason. I'm sure he did on purpose, but just to get through that spot. But felt like it ran good speed, mid-track and finish line. Great job, guys.
Well, you heard Ron say a little bit of a rattle early. Probably heard a little bit of lap time. Probably right about there is where they usually rattle. He did run some decent speed at half track, 261 miles per hour, almost 300 miles per hour at the finish line. Not too bad.
Here comes Cruz Pedregon and Jim Head, and it's time for our Sounds of the Strip.
Tracking 83, set 83 gourd, and roll 83, dissolve, set 85 gourd, noise from 83, set 85, and roll 85, dissolve 85, and dissolve 10 and clear.
Well, he gets really over to the right by the wall, but Cruz takes the win and gets the monkey of first-round losses off of his back again. 421, 286 miles an hour. Jim Head, well, nice to have him back on the tour, though, with that new sponsor, Western Governor University. It's an accredited online school.
Well, this was pretty much Cruz Pedron from start to finish, but boy, that thing made a hard move over towards the wall. Even took off the signpost or indicators at the other end with the parachutes. Or actually, what was there? Something on the wall there. But taking a look at this thing, he had his hand full after half track. Car moving around a little bit there, but then it goes 1-to-1, and man, that thing makes a move over towards the wall. Cruz gets the shoots out. No harm, no foul. He's in the next round.
Where he will face Bob Tasca. Well, here comes Matt Hagan and Jeff Arend. We send you to the top end. Gary Gerould has Ron Capps.
Well, for Ron Capps and his team, not only #1 qualifier this weekend, a couple of wins already tucked in their pockets, leading the championship points. How good is life right now for you and this team?
It's good, but there's the downside. I mean, the Napa car's been great all weekend, and Ace has given me a great hot. But it's like Gainesville. I feel like we have a car that's supposed to win now. You know, it's my car to lose, and I love that pressure. But there's something about being a driver up there when you got a car that everybody says he's going to win the race, you know, and I don't want to hear guys say that because I want to go up there with the motivation to knock the tree down. And he went in there, turned his light on right away on me, and I don't know if that was a game or not. He usually doesn't do that, but I didn't want to take too long. So, you know, we're just trying to get one round at a time, man, and it's shallow stage as good as you can because Beckman and Force are racing. We're going to have the winner of that, and they're going to be going all out. And that run was a little off for us. We ran 11s both runs, and I don't know what happened. There was a little weak early, but we'll get after it. Thanks.
There's Matt Hagan. His first season, boy, he is looking so strong. Tommy DeLago's doing a great job on that car. He faces Jeff Arend, is probably saying, oh no, not St. Louis again. And Hagan takes down Jeff Arend, a 4.10, 303 miles an hour. That's the low ET of the race. Saying that about...
And top speed.
And top speed. Saying that about Jeff Arend simply because it's his 5th trip here to St. Louis. He'd never won a round of racing, and he's never started here with lane choice.
I mean, Tommy DeLago, the crew chief's got battle scars on his right arm. I don't know what that was from, but he's not in no pain right now because that 410 at 303 miles per hour will cure anything you got going right now. Great run.
Gary Gerould has Cruz Pedregon.
Cruz, we saw that car make a hard move, and you made a great save. It looked like you were just inches off the wall.
Yeah, that was a little bit bizarre run there. You know, it's good to get the win. We need to get some wins here with the Advanced Auto Parts car, but you know, we only had 2 runs and a little rusty up there. I was actually staging, and I was kind of staring at the lights there because Jim was taking his sweet time to stage there, but maybe he had problems. But I was just trying to, my eyeballs are watering up there, but you know, I was just trying to read and react and do what the car was telling me. But man, it's good to get the win. We tell you, it's good.
Nice save.
Well, you take a look at Mike Neff's car. John Medlin says that it is ready to go. Mike Neff won his first ever rounds of funny car racing here last year. He has yet to win the race outright. And he goes up against Tim Wilkerson, who is 11th in the points right now. At this time last year, he was 2nd. And the Wilkes Warriors are just lining the track because this is his hometown track.
Subtle little change on the bodywork of the frame of Tim Wilkerson's car. It's underneath the bodywork where it's concealed. You can't see it now at the front. But on the weight bar, they've added little triangular body to the frame. Pieces of steel here. And because the front nose of this body had been damaged in previous runs, they've now trying to cushion that body and it doesn't flex. But Wilkerson gets that win. Nice pass.
There's his Warriors, and Neff gets the explosion. One of those little vortex generators maybe down under the car, Mike? Can they do that?
Well, I don't think I think what it is actually to support the nose of that body if they were having problems with the body moving.
So just for support.
Yeah, and it would help the aerodynamics of it because if the body's moving down or collapsing under the pressure, it's affecting the aero going over to the rear wing, which creates the downforce. Taking a look, Mike Neff had a big advantage off the starting line. Tim Wilkerson was starting to make it up, and then kaboom, big old explosion out of Mike Neff. Tim Wilkerson, at this point right now, I guarantee he can see Mike Neff out there. He's thinking, oh no, here we go. He probably looked to see if Neff red lit. He didn't. He had 014 light. Might have took a shot at it, but at this point, You see with cylinders out and everything, Wilkerson will spin the tires down track a little bit. Watch Mike Neff on the right side of your screen. I mean, they're pretty much about dead even at half track when the thing finally explodes. The chutes come out. Remember, that's that automatic system on there. When the blower backfires and it knocks the burst panel off, it applies the parachutes and the fire bottles instantly, which is a good thing.
Well, coming up next, it'll be that young lady, Ashley Force Hood. Apparently not enough room on the visor to put the entire name. She will face Tony Pedregon. And her father, John Force, turns 60 tomorrow. We'll have some special interviews with him before this day is over. He'll face Jack Beckman. We'll have his work cut out for him. We'll be back. Well, we welcome you back to Madison, Illinois, Gateway International Raceway, just across the river from St. Louis. Well, that looks good. A lot of great food at any full throttle event. And you know what? It is time for Funny Car. Living legend John Force is the winningest driver in NHRA history. And Monday, Force turns 60. Does the 14-time champion still have any race wins left in him? Force talks to us about chasing the championship dreams at 60, when others that age are thinking about slowing down and taking it easy.
John, when you first started racing, did you ever dream that you would be the biggest name in drag racing? I mean, was that ever part of the scheme when you first started racing?
You know what I dreamed in the beginning? that you know, they used to joke, Bill Donor, Orange County Raceway, Seattle, Don Perdome, Kenny Bernstein, you know, Moby Dick, Big Jim Dunn. He went on down the list, and many more. That's what they used to call me, and many more. And I go back and I find, I got them in my museum, the first time I was ever put on a sheet. Big Jim Dunn, Maz, you know, it's crazy. Flash Gordon Mineo. You know what I'm saying? And many more. And one day I finally got my name on the bottom. John Force.
So, John, this is going to be your last weekend that you're going to be racing. You're still in your 50s. On Monday, you're going to turn 60 years old. Do you still think you can win championships in your 60s?
I don't want to be an owner. A lot of people like that deal. I really enjoy what I do. I wake up every day, and did you hear that funny car pounding the ground out there a while ago? Did you hear it? Coyle says, get in the car. I'm in there trying to pull my socks on because my knees don't want to bend far enough. I get my shoes on, and I put on my earphones. I go out there. The kid practically has to lift me in the car. But let me tell you, when that thing hit nitromethane and it started pounding, my energy went straight up like I drank 10 bottles of Full Throttle. And I'm not kidding you. And my energy's going. I'm looking at Coyle. The world becomes crystal clear. I'm down here doing an auto club deal for this state, Missouri and California. And the fans are all around screaming. They don't know that I'm 60 years old. They don't care. Can you beat Ashley today? Can you get the lead back from Caps? Can you get Robert? That's all they care about. And as long as they're happy and they're willing to let me do what I love to do, drive them hot rods, because let me tell you, when you get in that car, you become Superman. You know what I'm saying? When you get in that car, you're not 60 anymore. You're just another guy pulling a brake handle, pounding the throttle, and I can go down that racetrack over 300 miles an hour, and I can do what these kids do. And even if I'm not as good, they can't tell the difference. I just want to race because it's all I know. I get to be with my kids. I'm in the biggest trailer court in the country. I get to hang out with Bernstein, Perdome, all my buddies, Eddie McCullough. Well, where else would I go? And if you gave me the weekend off, where would I go? I'd go back to the races. So why not be driving? And if I'm going to go through all the pain of signing autographs and all this and all the pain of sponsors and running crazy and flying on red eyes and all this, why wouldn't I want to drive? Am I nuts?
I think the guy's got his priorities 100%. John Force. We'll have more to talk about with John. He's coming up, but just in front of him, there's his daughter, Ashley Force Hood, the only member of Team Force to win a race since Robert won Indy last year. And she will face Tony Pedregon. Let's show you the wins by lane, Mike. Right lane seems to be the place to live.
13-1. Well, and everybody that has lane choices chosen that right-hand lane. The only loss was Larry Dixon when he spun the tires. And, you know, it's kind of self-fulfilling prophecy if the best cars are taking that one lane. usually it's going to be tilted that side, but that is more than normal, I will say.
Tony Pedregon has won twice here as you watch Ashley Force coming back. He beat Tony in the semis at Atlanta. For Pedregon, though, how about this? He has, in every green light round of racing this season, which is 12, been the first off the line.
Well, and we've said a number of times, he is the best when it comes to that reaction time. And yeah, sometimes he does roll her in, which we hear drivers say about deep staging a little bit to help the reaction time. But he is still very quick, whether he does that or not. He is just a very good lever. Ashley knows this. Usually it doesn't rattle her. She'll go out there and she'll just kind of run her race and let the numbers speak for themselves. But she's going to have to not be able to spot Tony too much. You know she has a race car right now because that man right there, Dean Antonelli, has given her a great car, as co-crew chief Ron Douglas. I mean, the car was pretty much flawless in Atlanta. Came here, it didn't run quite as well as Atlanta, but still a very good race car.
Tasca's pit, they're getting ready to face Cruz in the next round. Well, Tony Pedregon does it again, comes off with an 0.28 launch, and then Ashley finds herself in trouble. Tony runs a 4.17, 287 miles an hour.
Wow, Tony Pedregon, what can you say? 0.28 light, still hasn't been left on at a race, and that thing is just unbelievable. Take another look, left side of your screen, Ashley, that car's going to want to drift in toward the center. When she goes to correct, it starts washing that back end out. Once again, that probably contributed to things spinning the tires. Now, I got to mention, you can't say for certain that this is driver error, because what happens a lot of times is the car's starting to get loose prior to that point where she has to make the correction, like we saw with Larry Dixon and Robert Hight. And then when the driver makes a correction, it wants to wash the tires out, which contributes to the possibility of it spinning the tires.
And now only one John Force car left in competition. That's John's itself. ESPN has 2 nights of Major League Baseball action this week. Catch Monday Night Baseball at 7 as the Boston Red Sox face Derek Jeter, the Yankees, the new Yankee Stadium. And then Wednesday Night Baseball, presented by Smirnoff Ice, features a heated National League East rivalry when the Phillies take on the New York Mets. Don't miss it, 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
Once again, I mean, I'm jumping on the bandwagon. Go Phillies. My son Michael's going to kill me for not wearing a Yankee hat. What the heck is this? I mean, these guys walked in the winning run last night. What the heck? You got to love them. And Louis Bloom is a die-hard Mets fan. I will give him that.
No question there. The Phillies and the Mets. All right. Jack Beckman, this is what we care about right now. John Force. And Beckman, we're going to take you back to 1979 and look at everything he did since that 79 rookie season.
Well, and the most impressive thing is he didn't even win his first race till 1987. And obviously after that, I mean, he pretty much never looked back. Over 1,000 round wins. That is amazing, but so are 14 championships and 126 wins.
For Beckman, this is his 3rd trip to St. Louis. He DNQ'd here the other 2 in 08 and 07. John Force, though, won his 1,000th round of racing at this track last year. Round 1 over Ron Capps.
Well, we can't count out fast Jack Beckman. I mean, Johnny West gave him a very good car in Atlanta when he got the win 2 weeks ago. Jack's been pretty much on his game. John knows this. This should be a good race.
Well, Beckman fades about half track. John Force, a 4.18, 296 miles an hour to losing 4.91. And now John Force will face Ron Capps when they go to the 2nd round of competition.
We'll take another look at this. The advantage reaction time-wise went to John, but he was in stage pretty deep to help that out. But the key was Jack Beckman spun the tires out in the middle of the racetrack. Kind of uncharacteristic. Surprised me a little bit. Johnny West has had a pretty good handle on that race car. They haven't been running a big number, but they've been going down the track fairly consistent. Maybe they felt like they just had to get after it because the track did look pretty good, even though most of the wins are coming out of that right-hand lane.
Stat guy, you have a little something on John?
Absolutely. You mentioned that he won his 1,000th round of racing here last year, and I looked in the record book. That's his 21st round win since last year in 24 events, so that's less than a round per race, and he won most of those at one event, Topeka, when he won 4 rounds of racing that day, his last one on tour.
And we got to remember, 60 tomorrow. Only 2 people over the age of 60 have won in the Pro Series. We'll see what happens there. Let's take a look at the Lucas Oil Ladder because we prepare for second round of Funny Car with Ron Capps, as we mentioned, going to handle John Force. Cruz Pedregon's going to have his hand full with Bob Tasca, who's looking for his second win this season.
The other side, you got Matt Hagan and Tony Pedregon going at it. And then Dell Worsham's going to take on the defending event champion, Tim Wilkerson, with Dell having the lane choice.
Well, we've seen a lot in this first session of Funny Car. Ashley Force really got it sideways all over the place, kept it off the wall. And then Tony Pedregon. He's looking so good. He is pumped. He is ready to go ahead. He faces Matt Hagan when they come back. The NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series over in Ron Capps' pits. They're working away. Number 1 qualifier faces John Force next time up. Well, here's Greg Stanfield and Dave Northrup. Stanfield qualified with career bests. He runs a 6:58, 209 miles an hour, and that gives him the win off of his first pole of the year and his first since Maple Grove in 06.
Boy, he's got a car that can win today. That car is very impressive. Greg doing the job on the starting line. 300's an advantage off of the starting line over Dave Northrup, and then he never looked back. Couples that up with a 6:58 and almost 210 miles per hour.
Update on Tony Schumacher's pit.
You know, I'm not a crew guy. Never pretended to be one. Didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. You see Corey still here. Also saw you have to wire these parachutes twice. What happened?
Well, you know, for me, it's easy. I'm used to replacing shoes. We burn our stuff all the time, but when I got the DSR, I got a little complaint.
Look at that look.
Yeah, I know. He's looking at me like, what are you going to do? It's one of those things. I was over there doing pictures. They pulled them back.
Short. Yeah. They were short. I need to file them and everything. I walked back up and looked, and I thought, I don't think I need to file these anymore. Thank God you were here to save the day.
It looks like they are now pretty well set to come back for the second round of Top Fuel. Here is Mike Edwards and Justin Humphreys. Mike Edwards, the only pro stock driver to run over 212 miles an hour in history. You see, too, that already Jeg's car is back because he has to face Greg Stanfield when they come to the line in second round of pro stock. Look at that. Wow, red light for Mike Edwards. Oh, there's another one that's really going to hurt. His second of the year. Kind of looks like he even scared Humphreys off the line early. Back at the line, Kurt Johnson and Steve Spiess. We go to Gary Gerald.
With Greg Stanfield, this car looks like it's good enough to get the job done, and maybe you could get a Wally in your hand. How do you assess it thus far this weekend?
As of right now, it's definitely the car to beat. Just got to step on the wheel, Gary. I mean, this car's really fast. Since we unloaded, it's been fast, and the wheel's round. We're going to try to keep it round and keep the driver's head straight and see if we can turn the wind light on.
Go get him, big fella.
Thanks.
Now there's Steve Spiess, his third career round wins, 2 over Greg Anderson, 1 over Alan Johnson, his 11th race day start, and he will race Kurt Johnson. Now, the bad news is it's Kurt Johnson. He is always good, defending champ here at St. Louis, last 1 year over Dave Conley. The bad news is he has not won a round of racing in the last 3 races.
So you're saying he needs a round win here right now?
Badly.
Yeah, well,
big time.
And he does have a good car based on his qualifying numbers. He ran a 6:57 and a 6:59. Kurt did. Steve Spiess, a pair of 63s.
Well, Court wanted it very badly. He came roaring off that line with an 011, runs a 263, 209 miles an hour, and will now face Jason Line in the second round.
Great reaction time left side of your screen, Kurt Johnson, but it looks like he got a little bit, well, he got a lot of wheel spin there early. Didn't have a great 60-foot, so, but as a result, he ran it down the rest of the way. 663 probably was not the number he was looking for, but it's good enough for the win.
In just 2 weeks, the whole series for the Full Throttle Drag Racing gang heads off to the beautiful hills of Tennessee at Bristol for the Thunder Valley Nationals. Qualifying on May 16th and Sunday, May 17th. That'll be the finals. Stat guy?
Well, Greg Anderson will never forget the Bristol race in 2001, his first career win over Jim Yates. He's gone on to win 56 more events, and the key thing, 3 championships.
And Greg Anderson is at the line right now. First time racing Roger Brogdon.
Like that stat, Greg won when he won here in 2004, beat Steve Johns just down the road from him. He lived in Lancaster, Pennsylvania before moving down to North Carolina.
Yeah, but Greg Anderson's not been to a final round this season. Think about that, too.
He's hungry.
Neither one were particularly spectacular coming off the line, but Greg Anderson runs a 4:58, 210 miles an hour, and that gives him the win.
I tell you, I'm impressed with Greg's run as you go on board. I mean, this didn't look like anything spectacular. He didn't really pick the front end up or carry it real hard. Still had a decent 60-foot 992. But it's one of those runs where, it doesn't seem real fast, but it's real smooth. And because it's smooth, it makes up a lot of laps time, and you get the win.
Lucas Oil Pro Stock Ladder, Greg Stanfield, Jed Coughlin. That's going to harken back to Vegas of this year. Greg Anderson now finds himself up against the kid, Ricky Jones.
The other side, you got Humphreys and Krisher going at it, but a big matchup between Kurt Johnson and Jason Line. Jason's going to have the lane choice.
Well, Andrew Hines, Pro Stock Motorcycle, there he is. Set a new national record, kind of inspired by the fact that his teammate Eddie Krawick won 2 weeks ago and was #1 qualifier to that moment. Now the crowd jams the stands at the O'Reilly Midwest Nationals, part of the NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series, and we welcome you back. I'm Paul Page, Mike Dunn alongside Gary Gerald, Dave Reef. They're all over the place. The pits, the track, the far end, the starting line. And coming up right away, it will be Top Fuel. And here is the Lucas Oil Ladder with Morgan Lucas, our most recent winner, having to face Brandon Bernstein, who's trying to end a drought. And how about Spencer Massey and Joe Hartley?
And big matchups on the other side of the ladder. Tony Schumacher and Sean Langdon. Also Corey McClenathan and Antron Brown.
And here we go with our first pair here at Gateway in the second round of Top Fuel. And what a matchup this is. Spencer Massey and Joe Hartley. Well, Spencer Massey is one of the red-hot rookies this season, Mike.
I think it's one of the best rookie classes we've had in quite some time. Matt Hagan, Doug Horn, Sean Langan, as you mentioned, Spencer Massey, all doing fantastic jobs up to this point.
You remember a couple times this year I say, hey, where's Gary Sells?
You're always saying
that. Yeah, where is he? He's on the phone. Hey, Gary.
Oh, Mike, how are you guys?
Good. And you?
Sitting in the chair waiting for the show to come on.
Well, it's coming. And you in your day were a red-hot rookie, right?
Well, I guess I was way back then. I have a little hard time remembering that far back.
Let me tell you something. I remember, and he was definitely a red-hot rookie. Probably had one of the best rookie seasons of all time, winning the championship in his rookie year in the first 2 races right off the get-go.
Yeah, Mike, you want to talk about the third race? Remember that one in Gainesville?
What happened there, Gary?
You know, some guy named Mike Dunn, I believe driving for Daryl Gwynn, just beat me like a drum on a hole shot. And it's so bad, it left such a scar, I had to go to Frank Hawley's school right after that.
Yeah, and I never beat him again after.
Well, as we see Massey and Hartley come up, remember in their only meeting, Hartley won. Going to be a bit of a fight if he wants to do that here. He does not. A 391, 305-mile-an-hour pass on the Snake Prudhomme. Looks on and sees his new rookie is doing pretty good. Rookie here. Top Fuel champion NHRA.
Snake definitely likes his driver. I'll tell you, this kid's been doing the job on the starting line. 600ths of a second advantage off of the starting line, and he is not staging it deep. Couples that up with a 391 at lap time, gets him solidly into the semifinals.
And since we have Gary Selsey on the phone with us, let's go back to Pomona and his very first race. Tell me about it, D.
You know what? It was so exciting there. I mean, beating guys. First round, I raced Spike Gore, and the car went into a wheel stand. I pedaled it, and we got by that round. And I find myself in the final against Joe Amato, the winningest Top Fuel driver ever at that time. And I remember Alan and those guys saying, let's just put one more degree of timing in it right before we started it. And I thought, well, wow, that's going to really hop this thing up. And it went out there and smoked the tires. And probably the all-time worst job of pedaling on the planet. I think I must have pedaled that thing 7 or 8, 9 times. And fortunately for me, Joe, when he hit the gas, I don't know if he was ready for it either. It smoked the tires and blew the blower off. So we lucked out and got the win, and it was the most incredible thing that you could ever imagine.
We're running through your timeline here right now, Gary.
And his rookie season there, #1 qualifiers. You had 6-time #1 qualifiers, wins, 5-time winner, and 10 final round appearances. This is your rookie season, including your wins in your first 2 starts. Clinched his first career NHRA championship by 177 points over Corey McLenathan.
But, you know, you got to remember who my crew chief was, too. I mean, there's a name that every time there's a famous Top Fuel driver that has a lot of wins, there's a name that's hooked to it. And it's not Don Gartless, because obviously he tuned his own car. But driving for Alan Johnson was pretty incredible, and he's only gotten better since then.
Hey, Gary, what do you think of this rookie crop this year? Right now we have Tony Schumacher coming up, and he's got to face Sean Langdon, who has really looked good.
Well, I got to be honest with you, and this is probably not politically correct, but to me, I believe that Doug Horn and Sean Langdon are really the only 2 real rookies, if you will. And Sean Langdon is one of my favorites because the kid does a great job on the starting line. He's never driven a Top Fuel car. He does a good job, doesn't get in trouble when he pedals it. And he's one of my favorites. And, you know, Matt Hagan and Spencer Massey are doing a good job. But, you know, they had a whole season of NHRA under their belt, and I just don't consider them rookies.
Yeah, but they fit the definition here.
Well, they do. They do, but my hero is still Sean Langdon, and that's who I'm pulling for.
Well, he's on the line now. Tony Schumacher, you're looking at his crew, and remember that humongous fire, the explosion, engine change. He's in it, but Mike Dunn and Gary. Does when you have something like this, do you wonder a little bit about what's going on back there?
Nah,
not really.
Yeah. You know, Gary, right? As a driver, it don't matter. You're just going to mash on the gas on time, hopefully.
You know, Mike Green doesn't tear up a lot of stuff, and when that happens, you know, it's just like when you sit in the car and you watch the cars ahead of you smoke the tires, and you're thinking, oh, God, what's going to happen to me? Your car would go right down the track. So I don't think it's going to be on Tony's line either. But
you're going to love this, Gary Selzy. Langdon takes the win over Schumacher, 388 with a 311 miles an hour, and the crowd is loving this.
And it was a great drag race. Take another look at it. Both drivers pretty much identical reaction time. Sean was 1,000 quicker. We call that dead even. And then Sean just outran the shoe on the track. 388 elapsed time, but Tony Schumacher was close. 389. You take a look at our Lucas Oil photo finish cam by about 2 front wheel lengths. Sean Langdon gets the win.
I'm telling you, Mike, that kid doesn't care who he's racing. He does a good job. He's a Super Cup World champ, and I mean, he's good on the tree, and he doesn't let anybody rattle him.
And you saw the times down the track. And to add to that, Gary Selzy, he's one just great kid. He's really fun to be around.
He is. You know, I've talked to him several times this season, and, you know, asked me questions, which we know how stupid that is, right, Mike? I don't know anything mechanically, but he's a good kid. He's a good listener, and he really, really wants to do well, and he wants to do good, and obviously it's showing in his driving.
Well, on the line, our most recent winner, Morgan Lucas, and he's up against Brandon Bernstein. Well, we're going to send you to Dave Reef. He has Ron Capps with a question for Gary Selzy.
You bet wild thing. Everybody in the pits still asking if you're ever going to come back at least a dozen times. I love the human matchstick episode when you were on fire, but Ron's been missing you as well. He's been thinking a lot about you.
Is he on the phone?
He's on the phone.
Can I ask
Hello,
you a question?
Ron.
Absolutely.
How about a two-part question? I'd like to know, Gary, how many Little League games have you been kicked out of? And how much weight have you gained?
Oh, that's not right.
Actually, I haven't been kicked out of one Little League game yet. I've had a mother yell at me, though, for calling her kid the wrong name. And I've only put on 5 pounds in the last week, and that's because...
Only 5?
It was Dominic's birthday yesterday. Great questions, Mr. Cap.
Hey, we miss you.
Hey, and I'm hoping you win the championship, Ron. We're watching you every weekend.
Speaking of your kids, how are they doing?
They're doing great. Giovanni's won 4 in a row. in junior sprints, and Dominic has won 2 in a row in Visalia, and we actually, in Lemoore, another racetrack we go to, we put him up in the men's class, in the men's division. And you can actually follow those guys at PlazaParkRaceway.com and KE-promotions.com, which are a shameless plug here, guys, but if you want to follow my kids, that's where to go to watch.
Well, we're watching as Morgan Lucas just gets it all over the place on his launch. And that gives the win to Brandon Bernstein, who runs a nice 390, 305-mile-an-hour pass.
Well, there's an upset. Obviously, crew chief Jimmy Walsh was a little bit upset, but Kenny's happy with that. We're going to take another look at it. Watch the right side of your screen. The car picks the front end up, moves over towards the center. Morgan corrects it, but then it looks like it might have went into some tire shake, and he had to backpedal. Oh, there's the problem. Had a cylinder out. That's what drove the car over towards the center. He made the adjustment, but then the tires went into the tire shake. He backpedaled, tried to get it to recover, relet the cylinder for a moment, but by that time, Brandon Bernstein was long gone.
That's got to feel good for Kenny Bernstein, and the last time that they will appear here in the Budweiser headquarters city with Budweiser colors on the car. Unless, of course, somebody wants to make a little change of mind and realize this is a pretty good deal for them. Back at the line, Antron Brown, Corey McLenithan. This has a lot of possibilities. It's our last pair. Top Fuel, the winner here, will go against Sean Langdon. Stat guy, what do you have?
Well, it's great to have Gary Scelzi on the phone. Gary Scelzi, still the only driver in the history of this race to win from the #1 spot, as Morgan Lucas just got taken out by Brandon Bernstein. And how about his record against Mike Dunn? Mike, I apologize up front. Overall, 16-5, Gary Scelzi had the edge, and in finals, this is brutal. 4-0, Mike. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, and that 4-0 was in 1 year, 4 races in a row, I think it was. He killed me.
Scelzi, how much you pay the stat guy for that?
A couple $100 grand is all, but I hope he doesn't try to cash the check. You know, Mike, the only final I remember was the Indy final when we both smoked the tires. That was the one that I really remember.
Yeah, me too, unfortunately. You out-pedaled me. I remember that.
One of my favorites.
Hey, Gary Scelzi, the final question, and the one everybody's asking. When are you coming back?
You know, it's funny you say that, Paul. Right now, I'm really enjoying life, working at Scelzi Enterprises and racing and going to the kids' baseball games. But there has been some interest in me here lately, and it's just in talking stages right now. But you never know. It's you know, talk is cheap, and we'll see. Who knows? Maybe come back as a car owner someday.
U.S. Nationals, come back there.
There you go.
Good. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thanks for having me, guys, and miss all you fans.
Corey Mack and Antron Brown. Antron Brown 386 with a 4 and's happy about that one. 312 miles an hour takes out Corey McLenithan and sets up so that he will face Langdon when they come back to the semifinals.
And this was another good old drag race. Both drivers on the game off the starting line. But how about that Brian Karate, Mark Oswald tune-up, a 386 at 312 miles per hour over Corey's 388. Let's go on board. Good race up into that point. Corey actually looked like he started to pull out before he probably had some cylinders go out on the other end. He was only running 301 miles per hour at the stripe. Antron Brown 312 at that point. Take a look at our Lucas Oil photo finish cam, and by not quite a half a car length, it was Antron Brown.
We've seen some really good racing here today.
Track conditions are great.
Cloud cover, that's helping everything out. The semifinal matchups now in Top Fuel. Both of them are great. Brandon Bernstein trying to end that long drought, and Spencer Massey looking for that win.
The other one's going to be Antron Brown and red hot Sean Langdon. Antron's going to get lane choice by virtue of that 386.
688.
We want to take you back 1 year ago at this track in Funny Car, and he had to wait a couple of races, but finally John Force with this run, his big landmark win.
Last year, first round against Ron Capps. This is going to be his matchup coming up, and look at that. It was a whole shot win last year.
Well, coming up, it will be, guess what? Capps and Force, Funny Car, second round. I'm Paul Page. Welcome back to the O'Reilly Midwest Nationals at Gateway International. This was Tony Schumacher's big explosion and fire, and it sets up our Geico Tractionary.
Traction area today is head gasket. It's the gasket that seals the head to the block to promote compression and ensure a leak-free bond. As you can see that one on Tony Schumacher's. I don't think it was leak-free the whole run.
Man, that looks expensive as well. Well, we're ready for Funny Car once again. Here is the Lucas Oil Ladder. Ron Capps, John Forrest, they're coming up. We've already mentioned that. Cruz Pedregon, that's easy to say, and Bob Tasca.
The other side of the ladder, Cruz' brother Tony's going to go up against Matt Hagan and Dell Worsham and red hot fan favorite Tim Wilkerson.
All right, so we'll begin, though, with Cruz Pedregon and Bob Tasca III. Yeah, you can laugh at me, Stat Guy.
Why is he laughing at you?
I don't know. A professional guy with no mouth. That's what he's laughing at.
We're not laughing at you, Paul. We're laughing with you.
Thank you. Thank you so very, very much.
You believe that, don't you?
No.
Oh, a little red light there. Hello.
Let's just leave like a week and a half early. Tasca, look at the number.
See? And this is why whenever I red light and did something that dumb, I always lifted before I went to the finish line to show that, hey, the car probably would have won. That 4:15 elapsed time was a great time. But Cruz Pedregon, let's go on board with him. You're going to see outside window. Cruz knows he red lights because as a driver, you hear that go. And obviously, it's kind of startles you sometimes at the first point, and then you'll kind of get your bearings and look at the tree again, and then you realize what happened, and then you just concentrate on getting the car to the other end, trying to get lane choice.
Look at this. Goodbye.
That's what 0.2 of a second looks like, almost 0.3.
That's a third career red light for Tasca, and that's really early. You just kind of, when that's over, you drive that Ford to the parking lot, park it, go away, act like nothing happened. Let's go to Dave Reef. He's with Spencer Massey.
You bet. Putting the fuel in, getting ready for his semifinal matchup with Brandon Bernstein. And we were just talking, Spencer, this team got its first round win at your second professional start here on the NHRA side, but it didn't. The next one didn't come till Atlanta finally. But now here too again this weekend. What's your confidence level like? How comfortable you becoming?
Well, definitely a big confidence booster after Atlanta. You know, I mean, we struggled a little bit the first part of the year, and now we're starting to come on strong. And the team shows effort. We put in the effort. It's U.S. Smokeless Tobacco and United Associations and JEGS. I got to get everybody in there. We're awesome. You know, win lights are win lights. You know.
Are you comfortable?
I'm always comfortable. I don't care what's happening. As long as I'm in a race car, I'm awesome.
This kid's a student of the game, 2 points out. It's his third matchup with Brandon Bernstein. He's 0-2, so he said this third time will be the charm.
Well, that's yet to be determined. Look at this matchup right now, though. This is Dell Worsham and Tim Wilkerson. Dell Worsham lost here in second round, where we are right now, to Tim Wilkerson last year. Well, already Brandon Bernstein and that crew has his car back, and they're working on it, getting ready to face the kid you just saw, Spencer Massey.
This matchup on the starting line right now is a good one. Dell Worsham ran that 4:11 in the first round, a very good run. Tim Wilkerson, 4:15 elapsed time. Because of that, Dell gets the lane choice. Pretty much everybody in the fuel category is taking that right-hand lane. And in Pro Stock, we see most of the drivers there have taken the left-hand lane. That's because the fuel cars like a racetrack that's a little bit better down track. Boy, look at that crosswind blowing. It won't affect the fuel cars too much as long as they keep that thing stuck in the middle of the groove.
Dell Worsham into position. Struggled in qualifying last 2 events. No finals this year yet for the Alanabi Funny Car. Time for Tim Wilkerson to make something happen. Another wonderful little race there. Worsham, 4:14.301 to losing 4:15.294.
That was a good side-by-side drag race. I'll tell you what, Pretty much identical reaction times, 4,000ths of a second advantage for Dell over Tim. Let's call that dead even, because that's pretty much what it was. And they were locked together pretty much all the way down the racetrack. I think the difference is on the other end. Tim Wilkerson probably had some cylinders go out. He slowed down to only 294 miles per hour. Dell was going 301 at the lights right there. As you take a look at the Lucas Oil photo finish cam, because Dell was on 8 cylinders, he was able to get the nod by almost half a car length.
And the Wilkerson Warriors down track. Happy looking at that one. Hey, we've got an email question for you as part of our Fram email report. The question comes from Steve Daniels in Peachtree City, Georgia. What does it mean when a car pushes out a head gasket, Mike?
Well, what happens there is that seal between the cylinder head and the engine block with that gasket gets compromised as we take a look at Robert Hight. It happened to him on the qualifying run yesterday. You're going to see a little bit of a flash of fire right there. Actually got some oil underneath the tire, went sideways, and at that point, obviously, Robert knew he had to lift. Now, I have the head gasket from Robert's car. This is the top, this is the bottom. You can see where the damage happened. What happens with the cylinder pressure in a fuel car, a lot of times that cylinder head will actually push up a little bit. If a little bit of air gets in here, it becomes a blowtorch, and it blows that out, causing this problem. Now, it doesn't necessarily always have to happen at the bottom. Sometimes it happens at the rear of the head gasket or the front. You'll see the flame then coming out of, like on a top fuel dragster. And normally they can continue on running because basically it just loses compression in either the back or the front cylinder. Now, if you push the head gasket out between the cylinders, that's a problem, because what happens is the air can get into the other cylinder. If that intake valve is open, it'll fire all the fuel and air in the manifold, and you launch a supercharger off, and obviously if that happens, the run is over.
Well, here comes Matt Hagan and Tony Pedregon. Let's go to Gary Gerald. He has Del Worsham, who's moving forward.
High expectations, obviously, for this team coming in. There have been some struggles along the way. Are you hitting your stride now, Del? These two impressive runs today.
Very impressive. I just got to say, Aaron Brooks and Alan Johnson, and just to pull this team back from where, from a couple bad races we had. But, it's a very new team, and I got to remind myself that, this team was definitely obviously assembled to do very well, and I'm sure we're going to, and we already have. But have a couple bad races. Everybody's already written us off, and here we are back in the semifinals again. These guys have just done a great job putting together, and, and for the Sheikh Khaled, I want to bring him a funny car trophy bad.
I remember 2003, this racetrack, Dell and his dad walked out of here with a Wally.
There's Matt Hagan. He went to his first career final round at Las Vegas. He eventually lost to Ron Capps. Now he has to face a two-time winner here, Tony Pedregon. Tony last won a race at Brainerd last season, so his winless streak sits at 14. Wow, did you see that?
Wow.
That was something. Well, the win goes to Tony Pedregon, 417. At 423 for Hagan, it kind of worked for that one.
What is that?
No, watch this.
Well, yeah. Watch the left side of your screen.
There you go.
Kaboom. Matt Hagan was basically side by side, maybe even a little bit ahead of Tony Pedregon before you saw that little flash. Probably pushed out a head gasket. Now let's take a look at Tony. You're going to see this run pretty much, right side by side. They left together. They ran almost identical ETs to the 8th mile run, about the same speed. But then right about half track, that's where Matt Hagan had that problem. That's what allowed Tony Pedregon to get the win.
That was just so surprising. There's the reaction. Dickie Venables is all over the place, but to see it pop like that and then continue on down the track. Left side of the screen right here, Mike.
Yeah, you're going to see it. They were pretty much dead even. Matt Hagan was probably going to win this, but hey, you got to get to the finish line under power, and he didn't. He kept going. I mean, it popped, pushed that head gasket out, robbed some power. Then eventually Matt realized this thing's probably just laying over and I need to step off the throttle before something big happens.
And of the three guys who have won thus far going on to the semifinals, none of them have won yet. John Force now comes up to face Ron Capps. And we've been talking about rookies and how they look. Well, John Force's rookie year was 1979. What an enormous year that was for rookies. Dale Earnhardt, Magic, Gretzky. Joe Montana.
Bird.
Wow.
I'll bet you one thing, though. I bet all of those guys had a better rookie season than John Force did, because John Force was nowhere on the radar in 1979. And I can say that because look at what he's done since then.
Yeah, Magic went on to a championship in his rookie season, and we all know about Dale Earnhardt and how far he was able to take it. But there we go.
Championship the next year.
Yep, exactly. John Force, he won his 1,000th career round right here last year. Hasn't been as pretty for John Force recently. For Ron Capps, it's been a spectacular year. He leads the points, has right from the get-go.
This is always a great matchup when these two come to line. I don't care how good or how bad they're running. These two guys always want to get up for each other because there's a ton of mutual respect.
60th time they've met. Wow. Ron Capps runs a 4:13.296 against John Force 4:17.
13. Nice job, man. God darn it. Wanted to put it in shallow. I know you're going to put it in deep, but that's what I got to do, Ace. I got to just discipline. I should have done it in Atlanta, but great job, guys. Lane choice is big.
Well, and you talked about him putting it in shallow. He did, but you take a look at the Lucas Oil photo finish cam. It was Ron Capps by a full car length over John Force.
And went against the odds of 41 for Force, 18 for Capps coming into this round. So the semifinal matchups now in a funny car. Ron Capps, Cruz Pedregon will face one another. Capps will have that lane choice.
Yeah, the matchup is Tony Pedregon and Dale Worsham. Dale is going to have the lane choice in that one.
A little bit of a pit thrash going on back in Langdon's pit when they continue to get ready for their matchup, which will come up against Antron Brown. And you always have to be on top of it when you're facing Antron. And over in the Bernstein pit, he's getting the parachutes ready. He has Spencer Massey in the semifinals of Top Fuel. All that just a little later from Gateway International.
I'm gonna drive it like I stole it. I'm gonna leave it all behind. All my mistakes and my heartbreaks won't even cross my mind. I'm gonna grab the wind and fly, driving like I stole it.
Krista Marie, you want a ringtone of that, or just find out what else is going on with her? www.kristamarie.net. And it's Pro Stock time. Let's show you the Lucas Oil Pro Stock ladder as they come to the line at Gateway International Raceway. Greg Stanfield and Jag Coughlin will be huge. That's a great matchup. Ricky Jones and Greg Anderson isn't bad.
Humphreys and Krischer on the line right now, and that other big matchup, Kurt Johnson and Jason Line.
So we start with Ron Krischer and Justin Humphreys. They are off. Derby weekend, I can say.
Wow, Ron Krischer all over the place after a great reaction time.
Runs at 009 and then finds himself looking at all kinds of real estate. Humphreys takes the win, 663, 207 miles an hour.
Watch the right side of your screen. Ron Krischer just spinning the tires big time as he pulls the gears and still gets loose down track. At that point, obviously, he knew he had to shut off. Justin Humphreys was hooked up straight as an arrow.
Gary Gerald's got that unenviable job of interviewing John Force, who's all four cars are out, G-Man.
Yeah, John, we've had a lot of fun about your birthday, the 60th coming up tomorrow. How will you celebrate?
I'm going to celebrate. I'm the kind of guy, you give him a lemon, he turns it into lemonade. I don't let nothing get me down. It's like I eat a hot dog halfway through it. I look more to the second half. I'm halfway through my life. So life's really good. You know, we had a job to do here. 4 Mustangs that are out. We couldn't get the job done. Capps outran me. You know, right now he's got a better race car. And Ashley's really got the best car in our camp. But we're going to fix it. But I'm happy when I get a call, a photograph on my daughter Brittany in New York that says, she puts on her mask that I give her, you know, for in case they nuke somebody in New York, and she goes, Dad, the flu, bring it on. You know, the flu from Mexico, whatever it's called, pig flu. And Brittany, Courtney, she's at home yelling, Dad, get them to Twitter. That's what she's thinking about, and get them to, you know, to go to Fiesta, Courtney.com. So I'm happy and glad to be with my kids.
See you in Bristol, John.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Kurt Johnson, the only member of the family racing today, and Jason Line, who is a little bit, just a tick slower off the line. They were almost even. He runs a 6:57, 210 miles an hour. And remember that he beat KJ on the way to his win in Gainesville at the Gator Nationals.
Boy, this was a great drag race. Kurt Johnson, 2,000 of a second advantage off the starting line. You can't even see that. It was on the racetrack that made the difference. Jason Line with that 6:57 beats out Kurt Johnson's 6:58. And take a look at that. Just by a nose, Jason Line gets the win.
You gotta love the pro stock finishes. There's Jeg Coughlin and Greg Stanfield. We go to Dave Reef. He has Brandon Bernstein.
Yeah, a lot of pressure when you come here with Budweiser name on to St. Louis, but a lot of pride as well, and knowing that this is the last time that this team will do that. What's this day been like?
It's been a great day so far. You know, hopefully we can get this Budweiser Lucas Oil Mac Tools car in the winner's circle. And, you know, it's been a little bit of a pressure, but, you know that this is Budweiser's last time here in their home state or in their home city. And we're trying our hardest, and we want to get them a win so that we can, you know, really tell them how much we appreciate the 30 years that they gave to us.
Grayson, that Spencer Massey kid, good luck to you in this final pull here in St. Louis. And guys, as far as Jeg Coughlin talked with that team, that motor they put in hit exactly the way they wanted to. They know exactly how to tweak it up. Jeg could be tough today.
Now, Jeg Coughlin is 13-1 career over Greg Stanfield. That's who he'll meet right now. But Stanfield qualified with career best, so this should be good.
Yeah, I think Greg's probably got the best car he's ever had against Jeg Coughlin in those other 14 matchups.
Boy, two great lights. Jeg with a 004.
6:59 with a 4. 2:08.39. Good job.
So Jeg Coughlin moves ahead as he takes
That's
down.
the win. Great job.
Jason Line's going like, God, Jeg Coughlin, every time you think you got him down, he just jumps up and makes the run he needs. This is why he's won so many championships. This is why he's considered one of the best in the business. And I have to agree, 004 reaction time. He obviously hit the shift points just perfect because he makes his best run. 6:59 gets the win over Greg Stanfield. As you take a look at the margin of victory there and the on-track elapsed times, this was pretty much just Jeg Coughlin all the way.
Hey, there's 2 nights of Major League Baseball coming up on ESPN. On Monday Night Baseball at 7, the Boston Red Sox will face the Yankees at that brand new Yankee Stadium. And then Wednesday Night Baseball, presented by Smirnoff Ice, features a heated National League East rivalry when the Phillies take on the New York Mets. Don't miss it, 7 o'clock. ESPN News will be showing in Philadelphia and the New York markets.
Two pretty good rivalries there, huh?
Yeah, you bet they are. Where's your hat?
I got my Yankee hat on now.
Okay, you just dance anywhere,
that's
won't you?
right. I have no principles.
Ricky Jones, the kid, won his first career round of racing here last year over Mike Edwards. He lost the second round to Greg Anderson. He's up against Greg Anderson right now.
Greg Anderson with that lane choice. Everybody in pro stock likes that left-hand lane like we always talk about. They like a good starting line more so than a good racetrack in the middle, unlike the fuel cars.
Pro stock racing to the quarter mile. Ricky goes left and right a little bit. See how it plays at the end. It plays to Greg Anderson. 6:59, 209 miles an hour. To a losing 6:65 with a 6 at 207.
Go on board, you're going to see both pretty much identical reaction times. Good start, but then Ricky right there, he gets sideways. And you saw Greg at that point just pull away. And that's all he needed to get the win.
And I asked Greg Anderson, by the way, what happens with the Pontiac announcement this week for next year. He says he hasn't heard a thing. Here are the semifinal matchups. Jeg Coughlin and Greg Anderson. There's a classic. Greg has the lane choice. And then Justin Humphries and Jason Line, the other half of KB Racing. And Jason will have the lane choice. Back in Cruz Pedregon's pit. They're working away. It's Ron Capps that is their next target. And that's one that's hard to take down. Well, here at Gateway International in St. Louis, the O'Reilly Midwest Nationals, part of the NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series. Spencer Massey warming it up, getting it ready. He's moving into the semifinals. And when he does so, he will have to take on Brandon Bernstein. But in the meantime, pro stock, and let's look at the ladder. Jeg Coughlin, Greg Anderson, they're on the line right now, and then Justin Humphries and Greg's teammate Jason Line. But here is the classic matchup. KB Racing versus Jeg and Cagnazzi Racing.
You're absolutely right saying this is a classic matchup. These two always bring it to the starting line. Right now with Jeg Coughlin, though, after that last run really stepped up, Greg's going to have his work cut out for him.
And watch the 60-foot timer, Mike. If Greg is with Jeg at the 60-foot clock, he says that's where this car's been soft. If we can get with Jeg here, make it a pretty close race.
Jeg off the line.
659 with a 3. You got him on a hole shot. Excellent.
Man.
1900ths, another hole shot for Jeg. Runs a 6:59 to a 6:57. But nevertheless, the hole shot works.
Tell you, they just gave Jeg too many runs, that team too many runs to figure that thing out, because Jeg Coughlin, I mean, what can you say? He knows how to win. Got the advantage off the starting line by almost 200ths of a second. Obviously, he needed it because at the finish line, it was 11 ten-thousandths of a second was the margin of victory as Greg Anderson was coming on strong. As you take a look at it, just by a nose. Great drag race.
Did you see the look in Greg Anderson's eyes? 5th hole shot loss of the year. And that will bring up Justin Humphries and the other half of the KB Racing operation. That man right there, Jason Line, who has already been to finals at Pomona and Gainesville, and he won both of those races. He faces Justin Humphries. Humphries last went to a final round at Charlotte, and that was his only race win thus far in his career.
He won that when Kurt Johnson broke and couldn't make the call to the starting line. He would like nothing better to win one just outright by outrunning the competition, out driving them. But right now, he's got a tough customer in Jason Line. Like we said, Jason's been doing a very good job of driving this year, and obviously that KB horsepower under the hood doesn't hurt either. Good light for both drivers.
And a good run for Jason Line. He gets the win light, 6:59 with a 2, 210 to a losing 6:63. So there's some good news for Greg Anderson. His teammate is going to the finals, and here is the way they will match up as they come back for the Pro Stock Finals here at the O'Reilly NHRA Midwest Nationals. Jeg Coughlin, Jason Line. Lane choice goes to Jason. And back under the tower, Top Fuel, the semifinal is getting ready to go. The first pair out will be Spencer Massey and Brandon Bernstein. Top Fuel when we come back. We're in St. Louis, the NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series. There is the famous arch, the gateway to the west. And some of our ESPN crew decided to take the pod ride all the way to the top. And we're trying to compare how fast it takes to do a run in NHRA drag racing versus something that you know about. So if you've ever climbed into the pod and gone to the top of the arch, then this will be a good frame of reference for you. And Mike Dunn, what we did here was we actually started at Atlanta with the first round and just ran run after run after run all the way through first round while the pod is climbing up to the top.
The arch is the gateway to the west. I always thought it was just a great big McDonald's. No wonder I couldn't get a quarter pounder with cheese when I got there.
You got to remember, gateway to the west. We're talking, this is the city that everybody came to before they headed west.
Man, look at that. A lot of runs riding up that little pod.
First round, we're in Pro Stock at Atlanta. Now we're into Pro Stock motorcycles. Pod is still running up the arch. I love watching it this way.
I'm getting dizzy.
So Pro Stock motorcycles, and when they get done, and we go into the second round, Top Fuel, and then into Funny Car. And you know what? Before you get that great view of downtown St. Louis, 38 runs. Take a look at that. There is is the arch as you see it from here at the track. It's 630 feet tall. Tallest national monument in the U.S. Look at that. I mean, it's an amazing piece of engineering. And speaking of this track, here at this track, the Nationwide Series will appear in July, but Friday night, the NASCAR Nationwide Series is in Darlington. Coverage begins with NASCAR Countdown at 7 on ESPN2. Can Tony Stewart win it again? Top fuel time, and we will show you the top fuel ladder as we begin this semifinal round. You're going to see Brandon Bernstein and Spencer Massey coming up first, and then Antron Brown and Sean Langdon, and within those two pair, two very promising rookies. Rob Flynn steps away as Brandon stages the car. Spencer's in trouble right at the hit, and Brandon Bernstein goes to the final.
Nice run.
Boy, what a great day Kenny Bernstein and his team are having, and how neat will it be if they can go on to a win with the Budweiser colors on board.
Hey, Rob Flynn, Mike Guger doing a great job on this car today. This thing has been consistent. Brandon had a good rags time, but he was in a little bit deep. Car actually probably ran a little bit quicker than 386. Spencer Massey, that's been their Achilles heel all year long. Seems like if they're going to smoke the tires, they do it at the hit of the throttle. Otherwise, it goes all the way down the track and makes a good run. Unfortunately for them, that time it smoked the tires, handing the win over to Kenny Bernstein and Budweiser.
Yeah, think about that. 30 years with one sponsor. There's some of the numbers on it for you, some of the stats. 6 championships, 4 in funny car, 2 in top fuel. Maybe somebody at the Budweiser board could rethink this a little.
Man, they went through 6 U.S. presidents.
Hey guys, I talked to Rob Flynn right before that run. He says the only place they were struggling on this racetrack is in the top end. They haven't been running speed. Well, they just ran more than 310 miles an hour, and that says they got that spinning tire under control. Now, as we look forward to this next matchup between Antron Brown and Sean Langdon, I talked with Stewie, the crew chief over for Sean Langdon. He says they haven't been having that problem all day. They've had great 60-foot numbers, great early numbers. That's allowed them to just skate through the top half of that racetrack. They've been running 315, 311. So you can see the guys that are really getting a grip on this racetrack. They figured out, and they can figure that out by just looking at their speed number.
Well, Sean Langdon and Antron Brown. Tony Schumacher was making the point on Friday that a lot of the new guys tend not to do anything but worry about the light and the launch, and they have to really study themselves on how to get it all the way down the track.
Well, and he's absolutely right. Every rookie driver, including when I started out, we were just totally concerned with getting that reaction time number down. And the key to winning races in fuel is obviously you have to have a good light, but it is more important to be able to get the car from A to B as quick as it will go in whatever condition is thrown at you, whether it's hooked up or whether it's smoking the tire. We saw Spencer at Atlanta have that problem when he got it pretty sideways because of just that inexperience. Now, he's going to figure it out, but boy, that's, like he said, Tony's exactly right. You think about reaction time as the key. Boy, there's a lot more to it when it comes to these fuel cars. Good race.
Wow, great race. Light comes on for Antron Brown. 3:85, lowest elapsed time of the race, 312 miles an hour. And we were thinking that we would see rookies go to the final. Well, they performed well, but it's the veterans, Antron Brown and Brandon Bernstein, that'll go to the final.
I'll tell you, Sean Langdon did the job, though. He was almost 200ths of a second of an advantage off of the starting line. They didn't run the mile an hour on the top end. I think that's what cost him the race. Let's go on board here with Antron. You're going to see Sean get out there, and then right at that point where it just starts nosing over, Antron squeaked by and got the win.
And there it is.
Just by just under 6,000th of a second, it's Antron Brown in the final round.
Well, Gary Gerald has Brandon Bernstein.
We're watching Antron Brown jump out here, and Brandon, we're near the monitor, and we want to take you back to 2005, and I know you remember it fondly. Your late grandfather, Bert Bernstein, was here to watch you win at the home track for Anheuser-Busch. That had to be just such a great moment for you in your career.
Man, it was unbelievable. I mean, just to get that win, and we had been on a a streak of non-winning right there, and to have him there just meant everything in the world to me and to my father. I mean, it was just a great day for our Budweiser Lucas Oil Mac Tools team, and hopefully we can put another one in the winner's circle here in St. Louis.
And I remember that your grandfather had been ill, and I believe that maybe had been the last time that he got a chance to see you race.
That was the last time that he unfortunately got to get out and see us race. So, good Lord above's got him now, and hey, we're moving on.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks.
For Brandon, it will be his third final of the season. Is he finally going to be able to convert a final appearance into a win? The finals matchup then has that man right there, Antron Brown, and he will go up against Brandon Bernstein. There they are, rematch of the race at Phoenix. Antron Brown will have the lane choice when he comes up against Brandon. Well, it's Funny Car. It's coming up. The semifinals. The points leader, Ron Capps. Is he on his way to another win? Find out. On the line, Funny Car, the semifinal. Tony Pedregon and Del Worsham. Let's go to Gary Gerald. He has Jason Line.
Jason Line with an opportunity to maybe grab his third Wally of this new season, but I had the sense when you got out of the car that you didn't think you got all of it that time. Tell us about it.
No, we definitely didn't get all of it, and I was a little disappointed not seeing Grace win like come on, but the run was really lousy actually, and to be honest, I'm really surprised we had lane choice, but I'm glad we did. I'm not sure if it really means anything, but maybe psychologically it does. But I want to put this Summit Pontiac in the winner's circle. We've been getting close lately, just haven't been getting it done, and today we need to do that.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, there's Tony Pedregon. Dickie Venables works over the top of that supercharger. Tony's looking to win his 450th round of racing, and here is the ladder, how they got here and where they're hoping to go. Ron Capps and Cruz Pedregon, that's going to be a major matchup as well, and depending on how Del and Tony work it out, you could see the Pedregon brothers in the final.
Well, and on paper right now, Del Worsham has the better car. I tell you, Tony Pedregon, he has just been flawless on that starting line. Del knows this. Del's been doing a good job. He knows he's going to have to be ready and have to nail it.
Whoa, Del Worsham is going to a final. Nice. Alanavi puts their Funny Car in the final for the first time this year. Does it with problems for Tony Pedregon, but it gets there nevertheless.
I don't know what happened to Tony. We'll take another look at it. It looks like the thing spun as soon as he hit the throttle. And it might have actually broke something. I'm not sure. That just did not look right as soon as Tony hit the throttle. Take another look at it. It probably did spin the tires, and he just felt it, caught it really, really quick. But unfortunately for him, this man right here, Del Worsham, had a good reaction time, even though it wasn't as good as Tony Pedregon's. He gets the win as he goes down the racetrack. Didn't run the number they were looking for. I'm sure they were looking to run better than a 4:21. But, hey, it gets him in the final round.
And let's go to Dave Reef right now. He has Eddie Craywick.
Eddie Craywick, who took 44 races to win his first national event, got a championship even before that time, just a couple of weeks ago. And here you are staring at race win number 2, perhaps. You got the bike that can do it?
Yeah, I think we do. We've had an awesome bike all week, and we've had a great bike all year. We just need to work on it and find the tune-up. Thanks to Dunlop, S100, all comp cams, everybody, Matco Tools, that helps us out. You guys are giving us the funding and everything to come out here and go racing. And bottom line, we're just out here tuning on our equipment and hoping to take this thing and get another win.
43 winless. Now the guy can go back-to-back. Are you kidding me?
How cool would that be? Well, you're looking out the front of Cruz Pedregon's machine. Ron Capps and Cruz Pedregon put the wins by lane.
Well, right lane.
Going for right lane.
Well, and everybody that has had lane choice has taken that right lane, and Ron Capps is no exception.
Amazing how I can do that tactical thinking just like that.
Man, right? You're good.
I'm on top of it.
That's why you get the big bucks.
There's Ed the Ace McCullough, who is this year, I'll tell you what, he's turned things around. He's really got it figured out, and he's got the fever, man. He wants to win a championship. Wants to do it for Ronnie. Ronnie, of course, bridesmaid 1, 2, 3 times. Now He's looking at it. He is the points leader, but again, only a fourth of the season has gone by.
But you know what I like about the Ace is, you know, Ron Capps has been a bridesmaid for a number of years because Ed the Ace McCullough has always given a race car that's very, very consistent. Now, Ace says, okay, this year we're going to get more aggressive because we need to because of the 1,000-foot, and that's where we've been lacking. Now, that's easy to say. We're just going to step on it, but normally that creates other problems. That's why I'm so impressed with what this man has done. He has increased the performance, but yet he is keeping that consistency. And if they continue to do that all year long, you could possibly see, or good possibility, you'll see Ron Capps get his first full throttle championship.
And it does seem that once you get it figured out, you are able to replicate it time after time. That's certainly what's working for Ace. Oh, another one. That's cool. Ron Capps, a 4:13, 299 miles an hour. But Cruz gave him a run.
13. 15? 13. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that time it just put a cylinder out down on the right. It moved me pretty hard to the right, but great job. I saw him pop out at the finish line. Was it that close?
Capps, if he put a cylinder out, it did drive over to the other side. We go on board with Cruz. This was just a great old drag race. Both drivers did a good job on the start line. Cruz had a slight advantage, but on the track, Ron Capps just had a little bit better horse.
At the far end, Gary Gerald has Del Worsham.
Well, Del, we were talking about the team and the progress that it seems to be making. Now you're going to your first final with this new team. What kind of emotions are you going to take up there to the starting line?
Huge emotions right now. Finally, we got to a final round. This car and this team, you know, high expectations. We're all out there trying very hard. But for Shake Callum and all the people of Qatar and my wife and my family and Alan and his family and Aaron and this entire team to get to a final already, I just want to go out and finish this deal, but I got a little problem right here.
2 years ago.
Let's talk to that problem. 2 years ago. What's the reference there?
Well, we went to see our buddy Mike Ness in Social Distortion on a Saturday night here 2 years ago, and ate Taco Bell on the hood of the car in front of our motorhomes. And, well, I won't say what time it was, but
I remember now.
And then we looked at the ladder and said, man, how cool would it be if we were in the final round? And we entered the final, and I got the better end of that deal that time, but they're running good. But that was a good time. That was one of my best friends away from the track, so our families hang out, and I'm happy for him, but hopefully his ride's over for the day.
Thanks, guys.
Now you go back to that 2007 final. Capps won over Dell. They'll face each other again, and this time Ron will have the lane choice. And Dave Reef's been keeping track of the weather. He's got a report for us.
Mike and Paul, I don't know if you realize just how lucky we've been all day today. Take a look at the radar here in the U.S. Smokeless Camp. That's rain stretching all the way from Colorado out through eastern Pennsylvania. St. Louis just happens to be smack dab right here in the middle. And while rain looks like it's threatening us, it actually has been this way all day long. We are dodging a bullet here today at Gateway.
Well, we've dodged it so far. Let's hope we continue to do that. It's only the finals that are left, but they are the biggest and most valuable of the moments. Brandon Bernstein will face Antron Brown already. That nice long top fuel dragster is back in the pits, ready to be prepped for those finals at the O'Reilly Midwest Nationals. Don't go away. The Arch in St. Louis. We're just across the river. Gateway International Raceway. The O'Reilly Midwest Nationals, part of the NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series. The final rounds are coming up. In top fuel, Brandon Bernstein, who won here in 2005. He'll face Antron Brown, who ran the low ET of the event in the semifinals. In funny car, Ron Capps is looking for his 350th round win. And Del Worsham looking for the first win for the Alanabi funny car. Pro Stock, Jag Coughlin, his fourth final in a row. He faces Jason Line, a two-time winner this year. And then in Pro Stock Motorcycle, Craig Trouble, the Houston winner, will face Eddie Craywick. Second win, maybe, and two in a row. So, at the Gateway, who will win? Who will take home the Wally as we start the second quarter of the season? And the motorcycles, Pro Stock motorcycles, are on the line. There's Eddie Craywick. Can he, in fact, do it again? He can if he can get past Craig Treble, and that can be a very tall order. At Atlanta 2 weeks ago, this was Eddie Craywick. and this was the biggest moment of his life thus far.
Final round against Doug Horn. Look at Eddie Krawiec nearest to you. That thing was lifting the front end up. He was fighting that thing all the way down there and got the win. A great job. But I think the key to this final round right now is that perfect light he had in the previous round. He didn't want to have that light. He knows he was pushing a little bit too close, but he doesn't want to back off too much because Craig Treble's been running right there with him.
Whoever wins will be the first time for him here in St. Louis.
Eddie, good light for him.
Well, you cannot give away the whole shot to Eddie Krawiec. The 009, the 694 with a 189 miles an hour. Back-to-back wins for Eddie Krawiec. Number 1 and now number 2. Let's go to Dave Reef.
Well, Matt Hines, how about this Eddie Krawiec? Took him 43 races before he finally got his first. Now he's gone back-to-back. How has he done that?
Hey, he likes the taste of that first win, and now he knows how to do it, and he had just enough that time to get the job done. So great job. He was feeling pretty bad about last year winning the championship, no wins, but he's the man now.
You know what? Married life must be agreeing with him too.
And that gives him now the points lead. Gary Gerald?
As the Wally is handed over to Eddie Krawiec, you've got some explaining to do here. That long drought, 40-some events without getting a hold of one of these, and now you do it in consecutive events. What's different? What's going on here?
Man, nothing. I think I finally got my act together. Thanks a lot to O'Reilly and Coca-Cola. These guys are out here full throttle. You guys are all supporting us. It's tough times in this series, but you know what? Screaming Eagle, Vance and Hines, our V-Rods are running awesome. Thank you, all the guys at the shop, Luciano, everybody that works hard and late for us. This is all for you guys. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Well, let's show you the Pro Stock Motorcycle points because, as I suggested, Eddie Krawiec jumps way up there with his second win. 3 positions, moves to the top. 341 points with Matt Smith 16 behind. Now, Jeg Coughlin. He took out Greg Anderson on a hole shot in round 3. Now can he take out Jason Line, number 1 versus number 2 in the points? Jason has already won 2 times this season at both Pomona and Gainesville.
This is a big matchup. 2 very good drivers, Jason Line, Jeg Coughlin, very good race cars, a lot of horsepower. But Jeg, not only did he take out Greg Anderson in the previous round, but he took out number 1 qualifier Greg Stanfield in the second round. That's when that car turned around. He had a mediocre car up until that round, but Roy Simmons and the team got it all together, gave Jeggy a good race car, and that is all Jeg needs. Oh, red light for Jason.
Jason Line feels the pressure, goes red.
658 with an 8, 208, 39.
There's Jag Sr., his dad, celebrating.
This weekend, guys, in this camp, and then we pulled off a huge win there. Good job, good job. You did, awesome job, buddy. Way to go. Great job.
Greg Anderson kind of just sulks away. Let's go to Dave.
Down with one very happy father, Jeg Sr. 4 finals in a row. The win here, unbelievable. This was a team that was struggling after qualifying yesterday.
This has just been an outstanding weekend. We had the opportunity to have a new engine program for this weekend and opted not to put it in on Saturday. Ended up putting it in on Sunday, and just it came to life just slowly but surely. Roy Simmons and all the team and the people at Jegs, that have supported us all these years. We love them. We love them all.
Great to see you guys. Congratulations to you, Statman. I know you got more.
Well, think about this one. Jeg Coughlin's 44th career win as he hops up on top of the race car. He is 10th all-time in the history of professional drag racing, tied with Larry Dixon, and there's more wins to come, no doubt about it.
Well, Jeg Coughlin comes over here with the Wally. Oh, you're stringing together a run of success, but we were talking about how this weekend didn't look so bright through the qualifying sessions yesterday. What changed?
Well, we made a lot of changes on this car this weekend, coming into the weekend, and wanted to make some more, but with the abbreviated qualifying, we elected to just kind of scale back a little bit. How about this Cagnazzi racing effort? Everybody back in the engine shop, Stevie Johns, Victor Cagnazzi, the entire group, man, has just hustled to get some more horsepower underneath the hood of this hot rod. And, thanks to CFE Carl Foltz and Dave Braswell, they've been right in the middle of it with us. And Roy Simmons, my dad, Jeg, everybody has just been awesome, man. It's a full throttle, huge win for us today. And, to take out some of the cats we did today, man, that's unbelievable. Greg Stanfield, #1 qualifier, back-to-back with Jason and Greg was unreal as well. So just a great day for the whole Jegs crew, and can't wait to get to the next one, I can tell you that.
That extra hustle paying off big time for this team.
And scored up is the 3rd win of the season for Jeg Coughlin. And we look at the points. 637, 49 points ahead of Jason Line. Greg Stanfield made 1 position move forward with his runs this weekend. Now there they are, waiting under the tower. Nitro, I love that. Nitro, Top Fuel. They're getting ready. The Nitro finals are coming at you. So don't go away. The O'Reilly Midwest Nationals, part of the NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series. And it is Nitro that comes to the line. We're going to start with Top Fuel and Dave Reef.
Well, I had a chance to talk with both of the crew chiefs, one for Antron Brown, Brian Karate, Mark Oswald. I've seen these guys a lot. They are more relaxed at any time that I've ever seen them heading into a final. They are very secure with their tune-up and think they need to go just a tick quicker based on the conditions. They think they can hit a 384. Meanwhile, for the Budweiser team, the only concern continues to be that asphalt way down track. Just got to control the spin. Their plan, if they wrote it down on paper, it would be called go early, park it late in the winner's circle.
You see a nice cool track temperature, 79 degrees. Well, we want to look at the wins by lane once again because the right lane has been dominating in Top Fuel.
Yeah, and it's definitely, like we talked about before, the better cars are obviously taking that lane. But we've seen some awfully good runs in the left-hand lane. I just think it's a victim of circumstances. Obviously, the right lane is slightly better, but I think the numbers are skewed a little bit right there. But this is a great matchup right here. Antron Brown looked very good. I mean, he's just gotten better each round, a 389, a 386, and then a 385. Brian Karate's done a great job, but I'll tell you what, Rob Flynn hasn't done too bad of a job either in the other lane. And the key there, as Dave mentioned in the previous round, they figured out how to run on the other end in that Budweiser car. That is the difference. They were stuck at a 390, 391 range, stepped up to that 386 in the semifinals because of that big speed. They ran about 7-8 miles an hour faster than they had been because they got the car hooked up. They're going to need to do that again in this round. They're going to have a shot against Antron.
You got a glimpse there of Rod Flynn, who is the crew chief for that man, Brandon Bernstein. Remember, he ran Rod Fuller to a win here last year. Antron Brown, Brandon Bernstein. Good race. Antron Brown is the winner of 385, 318 miles an hour. And Antron Brown takes over the points lead. His 4th race win in Top Fuel, the 5th fastest speed ever.
Wow, what a great run. I'll tell you, they had that thing dialed in. Now they're going to leave. Brandon had a slight advantage off the starting line. They were pretty much dead even to the 330-foot mark, but then Antron just started marching away 276 miles an hour at the 8th mile on that big top-end speed. 318, a well-deserved win for that team.
Let's go to Dave Reef.
Brian Karate, I've been watching you all weekend long. You guys have had this attitude like you've been here before. You were very comfortable with your tuna.
Very comfortable. Great weekend. I got to give this to my guys. We changed everything after Atlanta. And to come out here and to perform the way we did, it's amazing. And perfect timing. DirecTV's on the car. It was flawless all weekend.
As dominant a weekend as you've had?
That's a dominant weekend, yes, I would say so.
Nicely done, Brian. Gary.
Antron Brown savors the moment, his 20th career win course, Pro Stock Motorcycle before the Top Fuel Dragster. Tell us about that, Pass, because that was another great drag race. Did you know you had him?
How about, I mean, it's a close race. I mean, that Budweiser car is unreal. Love him. Brand's a good friend of mine. And you know what? Our MAR team is no joke. I mean, Brian Karate, Mark Osborne. I love them two guys. They're brothers from another mother. And DirecTV this weekend for hooking us up. 1-800-DirecTV, get yours. But all of our Matco Tool distributors and everything else, we love them to death with CBS Sports. And we're just having a great time out here. This is what drag racing is all about. It's fun. And it's tough out here. I mean, every round we had was like a final round. Sean Langdon, my hat's off to those boys. And we got Lucas Oil in this ride, too. Go Fast Sports. I mean, Gary, we got a long list of sponsors. Lind America and Data Dots was on here. And I mean, and everybody else on this car really helps out a lot. And we can't thank them enough, man. And we got one bad team, don't we?
You were going 318 miles per hour, by the way.
318?
You got it.
That's unreal. Thank the good Lord upstairs, too. Awesome.
And Brun's right.
318?
It was unreal.
Woo! This thing was honking, man.
The Top Fuel points, well, as we suggested, he bumped up one position, takes over the points lead over Tony Schumacher. Brandon Bernstein stays in third. Well, Ron Capps looking to win his 350th round of racing. Del Worsham, well, they're looking for the first funny car win for Alanabi Racing. Alan Johnson won 2 races with the late Bruce Sarver in funny car. Now can he do it with Del?
Del Worsham hopes to win his first for the Alanabi funny car team. I talked with his crew chief Aaron Brooks a little bit ago, and all season long they've had problems in the clutch area. The car has had way too much power. But they say they've left that power curve along and just kept massaging this clutch, trying to get it down the racetrack. They think they've got a pretty good feel for it. Aaron told me additionally it's very, very good on good racetracks, or it's more forgiving, I should say, on good racetracks. Mike, if it's 79 degrees here, cool, cloudy temperatures, it's a pretty good racetrack, so there could be a little wiggle room for this team.
There's Aaron Brooks, the crew chief. He is looking for his first win as a crew chief. First win for the team as well.
I'll tell you what Dave said is absolutely right. The conditions are perfect for the Alanabi team, but I'll tell you, Eddie Ace McCullough and Ron Capps have had an outstanding race car all weekend long, but this should be a very good race. Del Worsham and Alan Johnson, they make a ton of power. They can get her hooked up.
Wow. Oh, is that terrific? Look at that. Del Worsham on the hole shot takes the win, a 413 with a 5, 302 miles an hour. Alanabi gets their first funny car win.
Wow, that was just a great old drag race there.
Aaron Brooks, his first win as a crew chief.
Take another look at it. 0.44 reaction time to 0.81 for Ron Capps. Not quite 0.04 of a second advantage for Del Worsham. That's what he needed. Both cars ran very well down the racetrack. Obviously, Ron Capps runs slightly quicker, but it just wasn't enough to make up the difference off the starting line by Del Worsham.
Dave Reeve.
And among the first to come over and congratulate Aaron Brooks and Alan Johnson, Don Schumacher, a very class act. Alan, let's start with you. You got the funny car in the winner's circle now. How's that feel?
Well, it feels great. You know, I mean, obviously that was a challenge, you know, kind of starting from scratch. Fortunately, we had Aaron and his crew came in and they had, you know, at least, you know, partial season under their belt. But, you know, we've had to do a lot of work on the thing, even though it started off real good. But, you know, we're slowly getting the thing into groove, and it's, you know, it's fun. It really is.
And Aaron, you talked about massaging the clutch. Give us an idea how difficult it was to massage it to what just happened.
Well, these conditions, this kind of fit our profile. I mean, we ran good in these conditions early on, testing in Pomona, and, you know, it kind of came our way. But we've been kind of gone full circle chasing some stuff, and I think we're on the right track. We kind of made some changes, and it's the things now, it's consistency. You know, it's coming around. So that's been what we've lacked, consistency.
Well, you got a Wally. How about that? About that driver.
All right, I don't know who's happier, Dixon or Del. Here are the funny car points, and Ron Capps remains the points leader. He leads Del Worsham by 119, but that's a 4-spot gain for Dale Worsham, and also Tim Wilkerson. Look down there. He finally gets his way back into the top 10. Gary Gerald.
All right.
Boy, look at the emotion flowing out of this body. Tell us what it feels like to get the first win with this new team, Del.
It feels like my first win I ever got when I was driving, period. It's a little bit of a trying day, but the car ran great. One bad round the whole entire weekend, the semifinals. But for Shake Khaled, Alan Nobby, Alan Johnson Racing, my family, the crew chief, this team, and the amount of hours they put in building this team over the wintertime, I just couldn't. I went back to Indy twice myself to help them out because these guys are just hard workers, and pretty emotional right now. What a day, you know. I talked to the Shake a little while ago right before the final round. He's like, you go out and you win this thing. So for Shake, Khaled, people guitar, Alan Nobby Racing, Alan Johnson, Larry Dixon, my teammate, who's a huge supporter. There you go, brother. There it is.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, congratulations to Del Worsham. I'm not sure who was happier, Del or Larry Dixon. It's time now for the quest for the full throttle moment of the race, Mike Dunn.
Well, we're going to start you off with Top Fuel, Antron Brown and Brandon Bernstein. This has to go to Antron, his second win of the season, 4th of his career, and takes over the points lead with that final round win. Then in funny car, who else? Del Worsham, left side of your screen, getting his first win for Alan Nobby Racing, 23rd of his career. But I tell you what, it's very impressive for a young team that started with nothing at the end of last season and put it all together. And how about Pro Stock? I'm going with second round. Jed Coughlin, Greg Stanfield, your #1 qualifier. Jed Coughlin had a mediocre race car up to that point, but they got it all together, laid down a number, took out the #1 qualifier, and then went on to win the race. Pro Stock Motorcycle, it's got to be the final round. Eddie Krawick on the right side of your screen. Craig Treble. Eddie Krawick, I have not seen anybody deal with the pressure better than him. He just laid it down every single run today and got a second straight win and took over the points lead to boot.
Nice work for Eddie Krawick. And so now we look ahead 2 weeks, and then we'll be in Tennessee, Mike.
Can't wait. Bristol, Tennessee, Thunder Valley.
So, with the race complete here, the Full Throttle Drag Racing Series next qualifies on Saturday, May 16th, coverage at 6 p.m. And coming up next, the 2008 World Series of Poker.